The first example is from Chapter 9 in the Form 5 textbook, English Download. Topic, Getting Away. Content Standard 4.1. Communicate intelligibly through print and digital media on familiar topics. Learning Standard 4.1.1. Explain and evaluate 1. Visual, 2. Read, 3. Heard information. Objective. Pupils should be able to 1. Select a destination and justify their selection. 2. Write a blog. Activity. Travel wise. This is a writing lesson. The financial education element is financial responsibility and decision making. This can be a group or pair activity. For the starter activity, you can ask a few pupils to name a country that starts with the first letter of their name and ask them to say something they know about the country. For example, if a student's name is Regina, she has to name a country that starts with the first letter of her name, which is R. R for Russia. Russia is in Eastern Europe. It's far away and an expensive place to travel. Now, for the activity proper. A week before the lesson, teacher tells the class to look for information on 3 or more interesting places and activities for tourists who would like to visit either Bangkok, Thailand, Bali, Indonesia, or Singapore on a 4-day, 3-night holiday. This will be a flipped classroom activity. On the day of the lesson, teacher mentions 3 destinations: Thailand, Indonesia, and Singapore. She distributes a brochure and a currency conversion table for these countries. Teacher emphasizes on the importance of travel insurance, the currency of each country against the Malaysian ringgit, and the importance of working within a budget. Then, she hands out a blank table for each group to fill the relevant information from the brochure and the currency conversion table. Teacher displays an example of a completed form. Then she reads out the question. You are to write a short blog on your choice of travel destination. In your selection of travel destination, you should take into account 1. The currency of the country, 2. Your accommodation, 3. Cost of meals, 4. Activities, and 5. Shopping. Justify why your choice is worth the money. Then write it out on a manila card. Design your blog as attractive and creative as you can. Working in groups of 4 or 5, pupils go through their completed table and discuss and decide which one of the 3 destinations would be their money's worth. Then justify their choice based on the points and present it. Teacher displays a travel blog. Pupils write their travel blog and display them. Teacher carries out a gallery walk activity. The closure for the lesson will be a HOTS question. Is travelling abroad a need or a want? Pupils are to justify. Teacher ends the lesson with a moral value. Be a smart traveller.
The second example is from Chapter 5 in the Form 5 textbook English Download. The topic is the environment. Content Standard 2.3. Use appropriate communication strategies. Learning Standard 2.3.1. Keep interaction going on in discourse level exchanges by paraphrasing and rephrasing appropriately. The objective: pupils should be able to 1. Speak about the item on sale, 2. Justify the selected items. The activity is learning to give. The activity is earn to give. This is a speaking lesson. The financial education element is money, management and planning. For the starter activity, teacher tells pupils to pick an item that belongs to them that they would sell to raise funds for their class. Pupils state the item, the price and give reasons for selling it. For example, this is my eraser. I'd like to sell it for 20 cents and contribute the money to the class fund. For the main activity, teacher shows a few examples of handicrafts made from recycled items. Teacher explains that they are going to create handicrafts from recycled items such as aluminium cans, bottles, cardboards, papers and sell these to their classmates to raise funds. She shows steps on making handicrafts from recycled items. Pupils are given 2 weeks to produce their handicrafts. However, the discussion on the production takes place in this lesson. Teacher distributes the guidelines on the do's and don'ts in creating the handicrafts. For example, pupils spend only 20 ringgit maximum and use only recycled materials, and they should not use materials that are harmful to people or the environment. Pupils get into groups of 4 and 5 and discuss what they are going to make. She gives them factors to consider in making the handicrafts. Pupils discuss based on the factors given and present the outcome of their discussion to the class. The completed outcome of the discussion may look like this. As for the closure, teacher carries out the traffic light activity. Teacher reads out a few statements. Pupils wave the green card if they agree with the statement, red card if they disagree, and yellow if they are unsure. So, teacher reads out the statements. For example, number 1, sell your unwanted items. Number 2, drink bottled water. This activity is to evaluate pupils' understanding in saving money and the environment. Teacher ends the session with a moral value. Being sustainable and creative helps to save money and the environment.
The third example is from Chapter 1 in the Form 4 textbook Full Blast. Topic: Let's Chat. Content Standard 3.1. Understand a variety of texts by using a range of appropriate reading strategies to construct meaning. Learning Standard 3.1.1. Understand main points in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics. Objective: pupils should be able to 1. Read and understand all the criteria. 2. Select and justify their choices. Activity: Tech Savvy. This is a reading lesson. The financial education element: credit and debt management. This activity can also be used in Chapter 8, High Tech World. It's Chapter 9, the Form 3 textbook close-up. For the starter activity, teacher asks pupils to name the brands based on half of the logos shown on the display. Teacher asks pupils to name other brands related to technology that they know. For the main activity, teacher asks pupils to work in groups of 4 or 5. She distributes the worksheet on the 8 criteria on choosing the right mobile phone deal to each pupil. For example, type of phone you want, size of the mobile phone. Pupils are to read silently. The teacher then shows a video on getting the best mobile phone deal. Pupils discussed and select the best mobile phone deal based on the criteria given to them prior to watching the video. For the closure, the teacher displays the 6 prompts. Pupils read silently. She then asks questions on the prompts. To assess their understanding, for example, prompt 1. Know which telco to choose. An example of the question: which telco has the best reception for the area that you live in? Teacher advises pupil to apply this knowledge when purchasing gadgets and emphasizes the importance of making the right choice. Teacher ends the lesson by stating the moral value: invest smartly.